What most Americans were actually concerned with after the game was identifying this Iranian woman who appeared during the broadcast and basically set off single guy Twitter, for pretty good reason. Internet sleuths were so on the case after the game as they tried to find out what's her at, who is she, and basically, would she like to come to the States and get married for a green card, which seems normal. My personal favorite response was this guy who said, I just want to give her a shoulder to cry on, If she needs out of Iran, I'm ready to risk it all. Green card so fast, 100 emoji. That's how hot she was. For context. My wife.
Men are traveling out of the U.S. just to find a wife. I was watching a podcast the other day, and it went on to explain why men are traveling out of the States to find a wife. To sum it all up, they say that women from other countries are well-educated, classy, elegant, very feminine, and they understand how to give and take in relationships, instead of being demanding, entitled, and ungrateful for things that men do for them. And I'm not saying all, but some women in America have grown so entitled and demanding. Basically, they think that they can treat a man however they want and they can get away with it. Treat a man poorly, and then they criticize their looks when they're not in the best shape themselves. Agree or disagree all you want, but men do like feminine women. They like when women behave feminine, and they like when women take care of themselves. Want a good man, but they're tired of our BS. So much, in fact, that they're traveling overseas just to find a wife that respects them.
Because women outside the US only want a family and unconditional love.
The Western woman, the American woman, from a standpoint of marriage and family, this is the worst place in the world to choose a wife. Not only the worst place in the world, it's the worst place in the annals of history to choose a wife. Attention to a woman is like crack cocaine. And so she's seeing these things on the internet, and she's got guys in her DM, and they're giving her a false idea of their value. Male attention is monopoly money. Because when you hit 35 and that attention starts to go away and you start looking for men, the kind of men you want, now you're competing with the younger, hotter, more fertile girl. There's a reason that the creator starts, you start to lose your eggs, in the mid-30s? I have daughters. My youngest daughter just graduated from college. She's 22. My advice to them, find the best man you can at your youngest age and settle down with him.
And if that man is 40 years old, you'd be okay with it?
40?
Yeah.
As long as he can provide for her and she loves her, he's going to treat her right, absolutely. As long as they're an adult. It's okay for an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old to have and have sex and put it all out on the internet. She's old enough to do that. She's old enough to be in a relationship. It's always from tradition, and you go to other countries, the same thing. You find younger women with older men because the older man is more seasoned.
Simple, honest truth. Well said.
You want a hot, traditional wife who actually respects masculinity? Pack your bags, bro. Femininity isn't gone. It's just relocated. No lectures, no I'm a boss babe too. Just softness, loyalty, and polarity that actually feels natural again. The first place, Eastern Europe, the blonde bombshell belt. Think of Poland, Hungary, Ukraine. Think 5'9" blonde bombshells who still believe in being wives, not rivals. 94% of Polish women say a woman's role is to make home feel like peace, not pressure. In Ukraine, traditional wives outnumber Tinder feminists 20-1. Land in Warsaw and you'll remember what being a man feels like again. Second location, Latin America, cinnamon skin, salsa hips. Think of Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, places like that. 87% of Colombian women want a man who leads without being told how to. Brazil's divorce rate, half of America's. They're loyal, passionate, and feminine by default. She's in heels, cooking, smiling, and dancing all the time for you. No power struggle, just chemistry and polarity. Number 3, Southeast Asia. Loyal, sweet, and family built. Think of Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. 91% of Vietnamese wives say they run home so their man can run the world. Thai women call you Tarak every single day, which means my love. Anytime before breakfast, lunch, dinner, when you wake up, anytime. Filipinas, K1 visas up to 40% in 2024. They were literally lining up for masculine men who know how to lead, and they will treat you like a king. Number 4, Africa, the ebony queens with loyalty in their blood. Think of Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya. 89% of Nigerian wives says, my king eats first, strong, nurturing, and loyal to the core. You don't have to prove that you're masculine. They already know. One dinner in Lagos and she is treating you like royalty. Here's a reality check. According to the World Economic Forum in 2025, these countries rank lower in economic equality. What does that actually mean? It means that they're not chasing boardrooms. They are building homes and legacies, while the West argues who pays the bill or how much of a boss babe energy one relationship can handle. These women are focused on family, loyalty, and love that lasts, not a war zone. Save this post, tag your single bro, because your future wife is somewhere out there. She is just waiting for a man who still acts like one. Go find her.
So anywhere but the US. These are facts. The US is at the bottom of the barrel.
So, word on the street, I heard you're single.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I think not all men, a lot of men right now act like women and they just want more. Bring back the patriarchy. I want to stay at home. I want to take care of my kids. What do you mean buy you flowers? What do you mean pay for dinner? What do you mean 50-50? What is that? I don't believe in that.
What do you want? What do you believe?
I want a man to take care of me.
So you want to be a housewife?
I want to be a housewife.
Right?
Yeah.
The old traditional way?
Traditional. I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll do it. Okay.
All right, let's say you meet the guy that does all that. Like he's willing to take you in, and you basically be the woman to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Now, does he got complete control over you? Like saying like, all right, delete your Instagram. You can't be dressing all slutty out on the streets.
Here's my thing. I'm not gonna be dressing all slutty and like having Instagram. If I found the one and he gives me everything I need, he doesn't even have to ask me for that. I already did it.
Delete it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Without him even having to ask.
What about he wants stuff every time?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. 100%. 100%. If he provides for me, he's a good husband. He's loyal. Everything. He's good to our kids. What more could you ask for in a man? That's what I need. I need a provider.
What if he wants to slap you one time?
Okay, that's crazy.
Okay.
You want to know why men pick younger women? It's not because they're prettier. It's not because they're easier. It's because older women have forgotten how to be feminine. Yes, I said it. See, younger women still have something that a lot of older women have lost along the way. That is softness, admiration, and the ability to actually receive a man's energy instead of competing with it. Older men do not want to fight every day. They do not want to be your emotional punching bag or your therapist. They want peace. They want a woman who listens, who is grateful, who still sees the man in front of her instead of resenting him for the ones in her past. And no, this does not apply to everybody. There are exceptions, but I am talking about the rule. When a younger woman walks in with light, feminine energy, and a willingness to follow, it feels refreshing to a man who has been carrying the world on his back. It's not about a number on her driver's license. It is about her energy. A woman in her 40s who's done the inner work, who leads with softness and respects masculine energy, she will always win. But if we're being honest, most don't. And that's exactly why men go for younger girls.
Simply put, it's because they're younger and prettier. Them not being bitter adds to the flavor.
Why American men don't want to date American women anymore. A little disclaimer, I do live in the US for the past 7 years. 1. Some American men feel that American women are very entitled. They feel that many American women expect a partner who fit a specific ideal. He has to be smart, attractive, successful, fit. They believe that many American women have unrealistic expectations. They expect their partners to do everything, and they expect their partners to put their needs above their own. 2, because of the rise of radical feminism, there is a loss of femininity among American women, and they even started to adopt some masculine traits. 3, opportunistic behavior. A big percentage of divorces are initiated by women, and usually it's because they prioritize their career and personal growth over their family life. And a lot of men also express some frustration because they feel that there is a lack of commitment and loyalty among American women. And that is why a lot of American men are now dating non-American women, because they believe that non-American women tend to prioritize mutual respect, shared values, and commitment.
Why pay new car prices for a used car? Passport bros for the win.
Every time I go on a date with an American guy, he tells me, I will never date American women. I start thinking, why American women are so evil? Nobody wants to date them. What's wrong with them? I know what's wrong. They have high standards and they want to go to third world countries. They want to seduce girls with a $100 bill and a pack of bread. Just want her to serve him for this. Because these girls, they don't know that people can make $10,000 a month in the States. That $100 for him is nothing. It's a chocolate pie with fucking Milky Way. And they exercise their power on people who are less fortunate in life because of their government and their economy.
We all kind of got tired of the dating scene here. Yeah, not everyone is rich either. It's literally less than 1% of the population that's rich.
Watch this video of my brother Darwin McPherson explaining almost perfectly why men are not marrying American women. Man, watch this.
Why are older men refusing to walk down the aisle? Why are women who have it all still alone? It's not an accident, it's not a phase, it's the consequence of rebellion. Today, you're getting a masterclass. By the end of this video, you'll fully understand why men stop marrying American women and why it's too late to fix it for most of them. When women abandon their feminine nature, they also abandon the very thing that made marriage attractive. Femininity isn't weakness. Femininity is the soft power that inspires leadership, protection, and provision from a man. When you remove femininity, you remove the magnetism that pulls a man into commitment. Modern women were taught to act like a man, compete with a man, and fight men. Now they're confused why men no longer want to marry them. You can't lead a woman who sees you as an opponent. You cannot protect a woman who sees you as competition. When a woman's spirit becomes combative, a man's instinct to cover her dies. Men aren't avoiding marriage because they fear commitment. They're avoiding marriage because they refuse to fight their own wives every day inside their own homes. Submission is no longer seen as an act of love. It's seen as a conditional trade deal. If you make six figures, if you buy me bags, if you give me a soft life, then I'll submit. That's not submission, that's extortion. Submission is not earned. Submission is chosen. If a woman waits until she receives everything she wants before respecting a man, she never respected him. She respected the benefits. Men finally figured it out. They finally understood. A woman who needs to be bridled into loyalty will betray you when the gifts stop flowing. You can't have the benefits of marriage without the responsibilities. But that's exactly what modern women are trying to do. They want the ring, the wedding, the Instagram pictures, the honeymoon. But what they don't want is the submission, the service, the sacrifice, the loyalty. You cannot have a strong marriage when one side thinks it's optional to obey God's order. You can't build a home when one partner is committed and the other is entitled. Marriage is not a subscription service. You don't cancel because you're temporarily unhappy. American women destroyed marriage by trying to turn it into a me-first lifestyle. And men? Men left the building the moment they realized marriage no longer made them leaders. It made them sponsors. American culture no longer honors wives. It honors rebellion. Music, media, influencers, all telling women be rebellious, be independent, be boss babes, be sexually liberated. Marriage? That's seen as slavery now. When rebellion becomes a woman's identity, submission becomes her enemy. And no man marries an enemy. You can't build a life with a woman who celebrates betrayal. You can't build a future with a woman who despises order. The women screaming, submission is slavery, are the same women crying at 40 with no husband, no covering, and no legacy. They glorify rebellion. Now they're choking on the loneliness it produced. A man's marriage is the most expensive investment he will ever make. And in America, the return on investment is trash. Divorce rates are high, alimony is weaponized, child support is extorted, false accusations are normalized. Marrying the wrong woman isn't just emotional suicide, it's financial suicide. Why would a man risk half his life's work for a woman who doesn't even believe she needs to be a wife? Marriage to a rebellious woman is like building a mansion on quicksand. No matter how much money you pour into it, it's doomed to collapse. Good men finally understood. It's better to die single with peace than to live married and enslaved. Modern women are proudly independent until it's time to pay bills alone, raise kids alone, and die alone. They brag about not needing a man, being strong, doing everything by themselves. But their funerals are filled with regret, not grandchildren. God didn't design women to live and die alone. Independence was never the goal. Legacy was. When you reject covering, you reject family. When you reject family, you reject your own future. Men see the warning signs now. When a woman is addicted to her independence, marriage to her is not a partnership. It's a fight for relevance. And no man fights for relevance in his own home. In today's dating market, too many women aren't looking for husbands. They're looking for saviors. They want men to fix their finances, heal their trauma, raise their children, pay their debts, and still be romantic on top of it. A wife is a blessing. A rescue project is a curse. Men are not emotional rehab centers. Men are not financial bailouts. Men are not child support upgrades. Marriage is supposed to multiply peace, not chaos. Good men aren't rejecting marriage because they're afraid of love. They're rejecting marriage because women stop bringing love to the table and start bringing liabilities. Feminism told women, men are the problem. Marriage is oppression. Independence is power. Now those same women are crying for companionship in their 40s. Meanwhile, the very men they despise have moved on, built wealth, found peace, and reclaimed their power. You can't believe men are trash for 20 years and then beg them for commitment when your cheeks start sagging. You can't mock leadership for 20 years and beg for a covering when loneliness sets in. Feminism sold women a one-way ticket to empowerment. It forgot to mention it was a solo trip. Men stopped marrying because feminism taught women how to be everything except wives.
I'll put up part 2 when I get back out of church. Man, was he flowing? Yes. So check out part 2 a little later on, guys. God bless you.
The world is full of women that my mother warned us about long back.
There's about a 90% chance that when I decide to get married, it'll be with a girl that's not from America. Men are now more objectified than women. They're simply viewed for what they can provide and what they can do for others. So much so that what one man won't do, the next one will. And you're just a DM away from any yacht, plane, or car in the entire world like that. I just don't want to be anything a part of it, and I'm just gonna marry someone that's not from America. Countries overseas have seemed to do a better job at preserving their culture and sticking to their core values. So much so that if you're looking for a long-term partner and someone that you're actually gonna marry, be the mother of your kids, to me, it makes more strategic sense to marry someone that aligns with those same core values.
This guy is actually pretty successful, and women have this idea that only the men that are not successful and are broke bums are looking at women from other countries. Here we have a man who is not broke, is not dusty, and yet even he is saying, you know what, I think I'm good on American women.
Hard to disagree with this message.
In the Philippines right now, and women in America keep saying how sad it is. Oh, you had to go overseas to meet a woman, and that's sad, and whatever. That's really an insult to yourself, because you're saying our options were so shit back home that we had to fly 10,000 miles away from America just to find a good woman. Think about it.
What is a passport bro? A passport bro is a man who is done with untitled, ungrateful, high mileage women in the West demanding provider status while offering nothing but an attitude and an OnlyFans link. Done with 50% divorce rates, false accusations, alimony, traps, and child support jails. Done with feminism lies. So he grabs his passport, flies to Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, Ukraine, Brazil, anywhere but the US. Places where women still value men. Cook, stay slim, don't weaponize sex, and see marriage as a partnership, not a paycheck. Stats don't lie, my friends. US women initiate 70 to 80% of divorces. 60+% of Western women, 18 to 30, are obese or overweight. The average Western woman, 7+ sexual partners by the age 25, and that's backed by the CDC. Foreign wives, lower divorce rates, higher happiness, traditional values, actual gratitude. Passport bros, aren't running, they are upgrading. So I'm with you guys. Smarter, not weaker.
Passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women that they are now going to other countries to find wives.
Like which countries?
Like Southeast Asia, Philippines, the Dominican Republic.
So it's like the opposite of the mail order bride.
Yes,
They're like,
exactly.
Okay, so they're,
Yes.
instead of ordering out, instead of using stamps.com.
Yes, and bringing them here. They're
Right,
like,
they're
we want
using
to get out.
Travelocity. It was more expensive, but
It is. And so a lot of these men get remote jobs. And so they go there and they live in these countries and then they meet these women. And then women in the Western world, specifically the United States, are so pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to all these countries where these women don't even know how to speak English. They can't even read. They're so uneducated. And then the men like film themselves with these women and like show themselves on dates. And the women are so elegant and they're so well spoken and they're so traditional. And they're like, look at these women.
Nosotros somos Asunción. Wow.
It's not a mystery why men are leaving America to find trad women elsewhere. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.